Hello to everybody that is joining us for the presentation on studying in Germany. I will have a short presentation first on studying in Germany, on the financials, on the surroundings, on the job perspectives and everything else, and of course, how you get into university. And then we can look at questions afterwards. So first, I'll have a short presentation for you on studying in Germany. So we will explain to you how you can enter German public university. And there I want to say two things on German public university. First of all, the German public universities are the universities in Germany that have a higher level, a higher academic standard, because all of the universities are regulated by the government. So all of the public universities have the same standard of teaching. That also means there is no ranking, as you know from other countries in Germany. All the public universities, whether you study at university A, B, or C, will give you the same quality, the same standard, the same level, the same recognized degree. Only people who don't make it into public university would consider going into German private university, because those universities, of course, can set their own criteria. All of the public universities in Germany as well have no tuition fees. So the idea is that the people that pay taxes now finance the university or the education for the young people now. And then, of course, when you graduate and you will work, then you will pay taxes and you will pay the university and your education for the next generation. Having said that, life in Germany happens in German, and that also applies to the universities. Therefore, before you can start university, you will have to learn German. And that is where we as ISL come in. We are not a public university because we are not government, but we prepare you to enter German public university by teaching you the language and the foundation year. I'll explain all of that during the presentation. I just wanted to say those things up front. Teaching is in German, no ranking, and university is free. Now, of course, you all know Mrs. Merkel. It was her idea, she's the head of government, it was her idea and her government that started pushing this idea of bringing foreign students to Germany about 15 years ago. Because there is one problem that we have here in Germany, and that is the decreasing population. So with a decreasing population, we have more people leaving the university than starting the university. We have more people going into retirement than starting their job. That also means that you have very good long-term perspectives, because you will be able to stay here and you will be able to get a job here, which is why I have the photograph of the playground there, just to indicate that you're more than welcome to stay in Germany long-term and to have your long-term future here. Now, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or 14 years ago, when we started this and we asked people, why do you want to come to Germany or what do you want to study here? The majority was always on automotive, mechanical, anything related with the car industry. So the majority of people wanted to work for the Mercedes, BMW, and so on. There is, however, a little bit more in Germany than just the cars. Of course, they are well known. Of course, you all like the cars. There is also a new part of German academic life, and that is in particular now with the Corona crisis. The company BioNTech, that you all know, that has developed a vaccination that is produced by the American company Pfizer, that is developed in Germany. And the company BioNTech was actually founded by two foreign students. They came to Germany the same way as you would be coming here. They learned the language, they went to university, and then they founded this company BioNTech and have developed this vaccination now. So the area of this whole biotech, biomedical engineering, that is becoming very, very popular. And that trend has started before Corona already, but of course now it kind of got even stronger. Now, while the Germans are known or have the reputation of being hard workers, there is a lot of time for free time as well. We have very strong laws where people can only work a certain amount of hours, where people have to get 30 days of paid holidays and so on. So you will have plenty of time to either play football, because it's the European Championship at the moment, or any other sport, and meet your friends for a beer or a milkshake or an ice cream, so that you also have time to relax. Um, the German companies that you know are, of course, the big ones like Siemens, Bosch, Allianz, BMW, Mercedes. There is also an awful lot of smaller German companies, but they are still around the world. So coming to Germany and studying here, of course, you are invited to stay here, but you don't have to. If you want to move on, you will find these German companies around the world. And having a German degree and speaking the language will open doors to you all around the world. Not only with German companies that you find everywhere, but of course with other companies as well, because even other companies have economical relationships to German companies. So be that Kuga, which is the famous robot company, or T-Mobile or Porsche or Boss or whatever, you will find those companies around the world. So we at ISL are located in Koblenz, and that would be your starting point in Germany. So if you decide to come here to study here, you would start your journey in Koblenz. We have deliberately decided to stay in a smaller city because I believe this is a good starting point. You can walk everywhere. It is a very safe place. It is close to Frankfurt. There is a direct train, so commuting back to Frankfurt will be easy. And the people here are not only very open, that is kind of the culture in that area, they also don't speak a very strong dialect, which will make it very easy, or easier at least, to learn the language. Because if you hear the language the way you learn it outside of the classroom as well, it will of course be a lot easier for you, as opposed to being in Hamburg or Munich, where people have a very strong dialect, and what you hear outside of the classroom will be different from what you hear inside. So why Germany? Germany is one of the top destinations in the world. It is amongst the top 3 destinations. We do have an awful lot of non-European students here. The number could still go up. We are working on it, but we have 12% of the students that are non-European. And that is throughout all subjects, really. The label Made in Germany, as I said already, is not only for goods, but also for education, meaning the degree that you get here is recognized worldwide, no matter where you go. We have a lot of different courses. We have over 18,000 degree courses that you can choose from. And there is, as I said, no tuition fee. There is a small administration fee per semester, but don't mix that up with tuition fee. That is somewhere in the region of 300 euro per semester. And that is so that you can use the restaurant, the library, the public transport, and those things, okay? Also, the living expenses in Germany are low compared to many other places. And once you start university, you will, of course, be allowed to have a job. And having a job during university is not only important to earn money, it is also important to get connections and to get experience. There are lots of job opportunities. We'll look into this in a minute. And you are welcome to stay afterwards, as I said already. The reason for all of this being free is, as I mentioned already as well, we have this decreasing population. So we need young qualified people, because there are lots and lots of positions that are unfilled. And while in many other countries, the unemployment rate went up during the corona crisis, in Germany, it actually stayed the same, because none of the companies let anybody go. Letting a person go now would mean that you don't have this person anymore when you're starting again. So everybody held on to their people, and there are still lots and lots and lots of open positions. The education that we offer, we don't see as a product that we sell and you can pay for and then you can go again. It is looked at as an investment into Germany's own future. Only if we have the people to fill the positions, the economy can grow. Therefore, it is free. And the government target was 350,000 foreign students by the year 2030, but we have actually managed that already. So that doesn't mean that you can't come anymore. As I said, we need more. So now we come to the job situation. The unemployment rate in Germany amongst all university graduates is only 2.5%. And that includes people who studied, for example, Inca literature or Greek mythology or English poetry or something with which it's not really that easy to find a job. But if you study something more mainstream, be that science, engineering, business, you will get a job. The average time to find a job, again, amongst all graduates, is only 3.5 months. And most of the people have a job offer on their plate before they even get the graduation certificate. Again, an average salary for all professions or all academics is around 40,000 per year. That is if you start working directly after your bachelor. Engineers, because they are in such big demand, have 10,000 more. If you have a master degree, it also is about 10,000 more, and it goes up radically. Yeah, so 10 years into your working life, you easily are at the 100,000 region. And of course, you have all of the paid holidays, sick cover, parental leave, educational leave, all of the other benefits are there as well. 2 years after you start working, you will get your permanent residence. Directly after your university, you will have a work permit. Okay, so that brings me to how you get into university. And here we need to look at different category of people, different category of students, different backgrounds. We start with the normal 12-year curriculum as you have it in many countries, be that the Indian curriculum, the American high school diploma, the Pakistani, the Jordanian, the Saudi Arabian, the South American. Most of the 12-year curricula would follow the route on the left here. And that means with your school degree, you are eligible to start in Germany with two conditions. The first condition, of course, is that you learn the language. I said already, Germany happens in German. So you will need to speak German to be able to live here, but also to get an education and to work here. If you don't have German, you will not be successful here. It's not only that you won't make friends, you won't be able to get a job, and you won't be able to get a good job. Yeah. Of course, there is always something. So as a first step, you're learning German up to a so-called B2 level. The levels we look in more detail in a minute, but that is equivalent to about 900 hours. It's an upper intermediate level with which you are very functional already. At that point, you would move into the Studienkolleg. That is similar to a foundation year, but is not part of the university. It's like another year of secondary school. At this point, you only need to decide on the area of your studies. So somebody studying science or engineering would do different subjects than somebody who wants to study business. That is, as I said, the only criteria you have to do there. Once you pass the foundation year, and during the foundation year, everybody will learn more German because the final requirement is a C1. So once you pass this, then you move on to university. The university, as I said, is free. The language course and the Studienkolleg is an investment that you have to make upfront, but that is the only tuition fee you have to pay. So the 6,250 for all of the language course and the 7,900 for the Studienkolleg. We get you a confirmed admission before you come to Germany. You need that to apply for the visa. So when you finish school, we get the admission, you start learning German, you move on until you go to university. Then I look at the foundation year in a bit more detail once I've talked about the right-hand side. So don't panic if this is not 100% clear yet. Then we have people who have an internationally recognized, or at least in Germany recognized degree. That would be, for example, A-levels or IB. That is fully equivalent to the German leaving certificate, which means you get an admission to German university based on this without the foundation year. Of course, you still have to learn the German language because the university will be in German. The procedure is very similar. Based on your A-levels or your IB, you will get a confirmed admission to university that we get for you. Then you can apply for the visa. Then you come to Germany, you learn German, and then you start your university. Also, if you come out of the one of the 12-year curricula and you have spent some time in university, then 1 or 2 years of university, depending on the country, could be considered equivalent to the Studienkolleg. So then you wouldn't need to do the Studienkolleg. Also, if you have a completed bachelor already, you can do a master in Germany. The criteria would be 75% in your bachelor and, of course, a recognized university. So in that case, you would learn German with us up to a C1 level, which is the level that the other students reach during the foundation year, and then you can move on to university to do your bachelor and your master if you want. Again, the university is free, the language course you need to pay. So looking at the language requirements in a bit more detail, the C1 is what you need to reach at the end. For the people that do the Studienkolleg, the last level, the C1, is done as part of the foundation year, as part of the Studienkolleg. With a B2, you're good enough to start the Studienkolleg. The teaching there is in German, and you also have German classes, so that's the last level. The A1, that's the absolute basic level. That's where you will be able to say hello, thank you, ask for the way, go shopping, introduce yourself. That is 5 weeks, and that level is required by pretty much every embassy around the world, which means you need to have a basic level of German when you apply for the visa. To get this basic level, you have 2 options. You can either do it online with us. The course is 5 weeks. Therefore, we start a course every 5 weeks, or you can do it in a local language school. But the A1 you must have when you apply for the visa. Also, the A2 and the B1 we offer as online classes as well. So you do have a choice at what point you want to travel, or sometimes the visa takes a bit longer. Or as many students do this year, you are finished with your exam if it took place, or at least you're finished with school, but you're still waiting for the final certificate. So we have a lot of students that have started learning German with us now in June, or will start in July. Then in August, you will get your final certificate. Then we apply for the visa, and then September, October, you come. So to make use of that time, you can continue learning online for the A2 and the B1. The advantage of doing that is when you do come to Germany, you know all your classmates already. So it will be a very easy and smooth transition. The higher levels, the B2 and the C1, we only teach here in Germany, because learning a language or doing a language course is not only about learning German. Yeah. First of all, you get a huge motivation when you are here and you see that you can use the language. When you see from week to week that you understand more and that you can communicate more with the people outside. But being here, doing the German course also means learning about the German culture, learning about how things are being done, and very importantly, deciding what you really want to study. because the initial admission that you have is only for the visa purpose. When you are here in Germany, you can actually take the time, go and look at different universities, because you only need to decide at the end of the German course what you really want to study. So a lot of people, when they come out of school, don't really know what they want to study yet. Not a problem. We just take any admission. You come here, you can spend the time of going around, looking at different courses. And once you have decided on a particular course, then you can decide on the city. Because if you qualify for one university, you automatically qualify for all other German public universities. If you remember at the very beginning, I told you they all have the same standard. So therefore, they all have the same entry criteria as well. So very briefly, if you have A levels, you qualify for German university if you have 4 subjects. That is maths, science, a language, plus one other subject. That would be ideal to have it in the area of what you want to study. So if you want to study engineering, take another science. If you want to study business, take business or economics. This is not a must, but of course it will help you. Out of those 4 subjects, you need 3 at full A level, 1 at AS level. It is not possible to come to Germany after the O levels or after the AS level and do the foundation year. You must complete all the way to the full A levels. IB diploma, similar. It has to be an IB diploma, not a certificate. You need 6 subjects, 1 out of each category. So the language, the second language, the social science, the natural science, the maths, and one other one. 3 at HL, 3 at SL. Here we are a bit more flexible. If one of the subjects is incorrect, or if you only have 2 subjects at HL, then you can do the foundation year to compensate. And now we need to look a bit more detail on the Studienkolleg. As I said to you already, that is for the people that come out of the most 12-year curricula, be that American high school or South America or Indian curriculum, basically for everything that is 12 years of secondary school. So the foundation year is for people who do not have a leaving certificate that is equivalent to the German Abitur. It is, you can call it a pre-university course, bringing you to the same level as the students have that either do their Abitur in Germany or the IB or the A level. You specialize at some subjects that are relevant to your future degree. So I said already, if you are studying science or engineering, you will be taking different subjects than somebody who studies or who wants to study business. Which brings me to the different courses that are there. There is, for example, a T course, stands for Technik, which is for all technical and engineering subjects. The W stands for Wirtschaft, which is economics or business. Then you study business, economics, marketing, tax, and so on. Then we have the M course, stands for medical, but it's not only for medicine, it's also for subjects like food science, biochemistry, biomedical, everything that is related to that area. There are a few subjects, for example, biotechnology, that you can do with either the T or the M course. So that's a speciality that you don't need to worry about. Then there is the G course, that's for arts, but that is not really important because most people don't want to do that. The subjects in the T course are, of course, science orientated. So it's maths, physics, chemistry, German. In the W course, you have maths, business, economics, German, a little bit of English. And then in the M course, you have biology, physics, chemistry, German, and as part of physics, something that is called mathematical basics, because you cannot do physics without doing basic maths. So that is part of that. Now, there are, in theory, public foundation years as well. In practice, that's most unlikely going to work out. Why not? As I told you already, the number of students in Germany is gone up a lot and it's still increasing. But the number of public foundation year places is not going up because the universities have very little interest in offering this. The university gets paid by the government for every student that is registered for their bachelor and master programs. They don't get money from the government to run a Studienkolleg. Therefore, they keep the number at the bare minimum. And that means if you want to do a public foundation year, you have to take an entrance test. There is only about 6 to 8% of the students, depending on what course you're doing, that will get a place in a public foundation year. Therefore, you have to be prepared to do it privately because there is a little bit of time pressure. From the time that you come to Germany until you start your bachelor, you have 2 years. That means 1 year is roughly gone for the language. Then you can try to do the public foundation year. If you get a place, fine. If not, we have a bit of a problem, yeah? And most likely you are not going to get a place. Therefore, do it privately. You have a guaranteed place. So all of our students that do the language course with us, we guarantee a place in the Studienkolleg as well. They do the government exam, but that way you will then be finished within the 2 years because you can start directly after the language course without having to take an exam. The requirements is a B2 level. So you need to have solid German already, then we guarantee you the place. The B2 is necessary to register you for the exam with the government. So you take the government FSP, which is called Feststellungsprüfung, which allows you to enter every German university. The start is 2 times per year, January and July, which works with the starting times in the university. In the university, and that is important as well for the people that have direct access, the semester that starts in April, the registration deadline is in January. The semester that starts in September or October, the registration deadline is in July. So if you start your foundation year in July, you'll be finished the following May, get your results in June, you can register in July, simultaneously for the one in January. Also the people with the A-levels or IB, when you're finished with your language course, you must have the C1 finished by January or July to register. Then, of course, when you come to Germany, you need to have a place to stay as well. Therefore, we offer accommodation for our students. It's all in walking distance to the school. They are fully furnished, fully equipped, fully serviced. They are only for our language course students. So you will meet students of other courses, maybe even of the same course. They study together, they cook together, they celebrate their birthdays together, they help each other. We have single rooms, we have shared rooms, the kitchens are shared, and you have everything you need from bed linen to towels, washing machine, cooker, pots, plates, and so on. Oops. Then the financial requirements. The cost for the language course I showed you already. The university is free. You do, however, need to pay your living expenses as well. And this is the piece where you need to be careful now again. You are not allowed to work in the first year here in Germany. So during your language course, you are not allowed to work here. But you still need to eat, you need to live, and therefore you need a bank account. It is called a block account. It's called block account because you put 10,332 euro into this account in Germany. First of all, it is blocked until you come here. So only when you are here, it gets activated. And then every month, you can take 861 out of this account to pay your rent, your food, your clothes. That way, the German government and you and your parents have to guarantee that you have enough money for 1 year. So you cannot go and have the biggest welcome party or buy a new Rolex watch when you come here, because you cannot access the full 10,000 on the first day. It is spread out throughout the year. Then, of course, you need a health insurance. That is very, very affordable for students here. It is 550 per year, and you pay the monthly premium out of your block account every month. So just to summarize step by step again. Once you finished your university with your bachelor or you finished your school, you send us the documents, we evaluate them, we tell you if you can do a master or if you can do a bachelor with or without the foundation year. That's the offer letter then. Then we get you the admission letter to university, which you need to apply for the visa, and you start learning German, either online with us or locally. Then you do the block account and you pay the tuition fee. Then we send you all of the original documents and you can apply for the visa. Once you have the visa, you have either 60 or 90 days to travel. Depends, at the moment they give 90 days, it used to be 60, depends a little bit on the country. Then you can pick the time when you want to travel. You come to Germany, you continue your course. When you are finished, you decide on the university, we do the registration with you, and then you can start your university. Once you're finished with the university, as I said, you automatically get your work permit, and 2 years later, you will get your permanent residency. What you need to bring to the embassy for the visa is the confirmed admission from the university, the acceptance to the language course, proof of accommodation, proof of health insurance, a block account, and a motivation letter. Most of that you get from us. The motivation letter you of course need to write yourself, but we give you feedback on it, and the block account you also need to do yourself. The rest of the documents come from us, and we also do via Zoom or Skype or telephone or whatever is available, a preparation for the visa interview. So we don't let you go there unprepared, because we have an interest in keeping the good reputation that we have as well. We have an extremely high visa approval rate, which is over 90%. And of course, with better preparation, you have a better chance of getting this. Every year, we have about 250 students that come to us and go through the process of learning the language, maybe doing the foundation year, and then moving on to university. The German exams happen in our school. We are a fully licensed test center. All of our teachers are qualified. The exam for the Studienkolleg you will do with the government, because only if you do the government exam, you will be allowed to enter any German public university that you have. And I hope that I could give you a good or a little bit of an overview of studying in Germany now. I'd like to thank you for the attention, and we can now look at questions.